Hey everyone, Ben Reno here again, and today what we're going to be talking about is Sega's announcement from last week that they are going to be releasing a Sega Mega Drive Mini. And I know what we're all thinking, hey Ben, didn't they release a Sega Mega Drive with an HDMI output last year and wireless controllers? Yes, they did, but it was made by AtGames. It had frame skipping, sound issues, and was made out of cheap plastic. So it wasn't nearly up to the quality of the Super Nintendo Classic. So by them making a special announcement of a new one, you'd figure, oh, this one's actually going to be good. Well, you'd be wrong again because this one is also being made by AtGames. And AtGames has been making horrible systems for Sega for years. One of the first instances of this was way back in 2010 when they made a horrible plug and play system with cheap plastic motion controllers. And while their quality has improved since, it's still not very good. And a lot of their older systems contained a lot of Chinese games just to up their numbers. So you can imagine my disappointment when I read that the newest Sega Mega Drive Mini will be made with, quote, the latest AtGames emulation technology. And honestly, when I heard that, it made me throw up a little bit in my mouth. I'm just going to speak to you personally here, Sega. You made over 35 million Sega Genesis systems from 1989 until today. You don't think there's a market for maybe 30 to 50,000 of a well-made system with HDMI output, some great games, and some wireless controllers? Charge $100 for it. Who cares? These cost almost nothing to make. I honestly think Sega is wasting a really prime opportunity just to separate itself from the risk of maybe a potential loss on making some hardware. I would pay $80 to $100 for a SNES Classic quality Sega Genesis because I'm a huge Sega fan and I've always loved their systems. All they'd have to do is include some heavy hitters on there like Sword of Vermilion, Gunstar Heroes, Streets of Rage, Sonic, the good stuff. Because I have honestly really enjoyed playing the Super Nintendo Classic, not just by myself, but with friends, family, friends' families. It's an awesome system. And also, it's not like Sega doesn't have the resources to do this. While their revenue is about 20% lower than Nintendo's, they still make almost the same amount of profit. Nintendo pulled in 29 billion yen in profit last year, and Sega pulled in 27.6. So it's not that they don't have the resources to do this, they're just choosing not to. And that's a real shame because as a Sega fan, I really want to see this happen. And hopefully it will eventually if this system doesn't do well. And then I did also want to let you guys know that the game I've been playing in the background is a game called Eliminate Down for the Sega Genesis, because I know a lot of you are going to be curious about it. It's a weird name, I know, I think it was a bad translation, but the game is really fun, really challenging. It does require a bit of memorization, but you should definitely check it out. And also, this week is the first week I'm using a pop filter to record this, so let me know how that works. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.